Good day, everyone. We are Group 3, and today we will be discussing Asian regionalism. This material is intended for educational purposes only. Our group hereby grants permission to our instructor, Mr. Roldan Ardinis, to use this work as part of his teaching resources. At the end of the lesson, the students will be able to differentiate between regionalization and globalization. Identify the factors leading to a greater integration of the Asian region. Analyze how different Asian states confront the challenges of globalization and regionalism. Localization. The difference between regionalization and globalization. Definition of Asian regionalism. Why there is an Asian regionalism. What is an example of regionalism? Regionalism in the Philippines. The difference of regionalism and globalization. The factors leading to a greater integration of the Asian region. How different Asian states confront challenges of globalization and regionalism. The advantages and disadvantages of regionalism. The factors of regionalism. The new regionalism. The impact of regionalization on globalization.
Good day everyone, my name is Cadet Leonard Cabalida and I'm going to present localization. Localization involves modifying products, services, or cultural contents to align with the specific characteristics of local communities, such as language, costumes, cultural norms, and economic conditions. This process ensures that global or regional initiatives become relevant and meaningful at the local level, allowing for a better acceptance and a usability. For multinational businesses, localization can mean adapting marketing, product design, and customer support to fit local preferences. In culture, localization preserves diversity by respecting local tradition amidst globalization. It bridges the global and the local by making transnational process of compatible with the unique local identities. So now let's discuss the difference between regionalization and globalization. Regionalization is the process by which countries within a defined geographic region increase their economic, political, and social cooperation and integration. It emphasizes intra-regional ties such as trade agreements, political alliances, and cultural exchange aimed at achieving shared benefits. Globalization, on the other hand, is the broader phenomenon that transcends regional borders, promoting worldwide interconnectedness of economies, cultures, and political system. Regionalization can be considered as a subset or stepping stone of globalization, providing local cooperation within the framework of globalization.
I am Decadet Rosales Sebastian, going to discuss the definition of Asian regionalism. Asian regionalism refers to the growing cooperation among Asian countries in political, economic, and social spheres aimed at regional economic growth, poverty reduction, financial stability, and collective development. It is shaped by geographic proximity, shared historical and cultural ties, and the need to work collectively amid global economic competition. Institutions such as ASEAN serve as central platforms facilitating dialogue, economic integration, and policy coordination. Asian regionalism emphasizes solving regional challenges jointly while leveraging regional strength to increase the global standing of Asian countries. Now, let's talk about why there's an Asian regionalism. Asian regionalism emerged primarily due to common challenges faced by Asian countries, including pervasive poverty, uneven development, and vulnerabilities in a complex global financial system. The 1997-98 Asian financial crisis underscored these vulnerabilities and exposed the harsh consequences of uncoordinated policies. Furthermore, shared security concerns, the desire to protect the sovereignty against external influence, and the recognition that economic cooperation could spur development also drove countries to foster regionalism. By working together, Asian states seek to build economic resilience, address developmental disparities, and assert a stronger collective voice in globalism.
I am Engine Cadet Tungkol to give an example of regionalism. A key example of regionalism in Asia is the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, or ASEAN. established in 1967 by Indonesia, Malaysia, the Philippines, Singapore, and Thailand. ASEAN initially focused on political stability and conflict resolution during the Cold War. Over time, it expanded to economic cooperation, culminating in initiatives like the ASEAN Free Trade Area, or AFTA, and the ASEAN Community Framework. ASEAN also seeks to promote a regional identity, or ASEAN Way, emphasizing consensus, non-interference, and peaceful coexistence. Other Asian regional organizations include the Asia Summit and SERC, but ASEAN remains the most influential and constitutionalized. Regionalism in the Philippines. In the Philippines, regionalism manifests in its division into 17 administrative regions, each with unique social, cultural, and economic identities. These regions respond to local governance needs while remaining politically united under the national government. Geography reinforces the distinct regional identities but also necessitates national cohesion and policy coordination. Filipino regionalism influenced political decentralization, economic planning, and allocation of resources, helping manage local development challenges while preserving regional cultures.
I am Decadet Acho Fernando Jr. and now I will discuss the difference of regionalism and globalization. Regionalism is focused on collaboration and integration among geographically proximate countries designed to achieve mutual benefits. Regionalism such as economic growth, security, and cultural exchange within a region. Globalization is a global-scale process breaking down barriers worldwide, facilitating of flows of goods, culture, technology, and capital across continents, while regionalism builds and strengthens localized networks and design. Globalization connects and integrates these regional networks into the broader global system. Regionalism sometimes acts as a programmatic response of buffer against the challenges posed by globalization. The factors leading to a greater integration of the Asian region. The increasing integration, long-standing and historic trade relationships, cultural and linguistic affinities facilitating collaboration, and growing economic interdependence encouraging market integration. Shared regional challenges such as poverty, infrastructure deficits, and environmental threats necessitate cooperation. The Asian financial crisis highlighted the risk of the fragmentation, prompting collectivity policy making, strategic geopolitical shifts, and initiatives like China Belts and Road also significantly dependent connectivity.
I am Decadet Hubaheb and I'm going to discuss how different Asian states confront challenges and globalization and regionalization. Asian countries adopt diverse strategies to face the globalization and regionalization. Developed states such as Japan and South Korea pursue openness to global markets coupled with active leadership and regional organizations. Emerging economies like China and India balance economic integration with maintaining political observability and national interests. ASEAN countries use multilateral diplomacy to resolve the conflicts and collectively manage external pressures. Nationalistic tendencies and geopolitical rivalries complicate regional cohesion but are managed within regional forums emphasizing consensus and mutual respect. And now, let's talk all about the advantage and disadvantage of regionalism. The advantage of regionalism include boosted economic growth to the larger markets and coordinated policies, political stability via conflict resolution and shared resource management, benefiting the infrastructure and development. Disadvantage may include the tension over the sovereignty and equal gains favoring a dominant economy's potential exclusion of smaller or weaker members, and nationalism risking a fragmentation. Effective regionalism depends on inclusive governance, equitable resource sharing, and respect for cultural diversity.
The factors of regionalism. Regionalism is influenced by geographic proximity, enabling ease of interaction, shared language, culture, or historical experience, facilitating trust and
economic complementarity, encouraging trade and investment. Political factors include alliances formed for mutual security and collective bargaining power. External threats and globalization pressures also push countries to collaborate regionally. Together, these multidimensional factors form the foundation to build sustainable regional cooperation.
I'm the Cadet Abakita and I'm going to discuss about the new regionalism. The new regionalism in Asia refers to deeper and more institutionalized phase of regional integration characterized by the formal trade agreements, regulatory harmonization, and institutional reforms like Asian Economic Community. Unlike the earlier phase focused on political security, the new regionalism emphasized economic interdependence, liberalization, and normative shift in trade standards led by developing countries. It reflects Asia's maturing role in global economic governance and increasing South-to-South cooperation.
And lastly, I am Engineer Cadet De La Torre, and I'm going to discuss the impact of regionalizations on globalization. Regionalization shapes globalization by creating robust regional blocks that enable countries to collectively influence global economic and political processes. These blocks can complement globalizations by facilitating trade, investment, and technology diffusion within regions. However, regionalizations can also challenge global uniformity by creating competing groupings with their own standard and regulations, potentially leading to fragmentations if not well coordinated with global institutions. Overall, regionalizations act as catalyst and regulator within the globalized system.
Thank you for your time and attention. This report was created and presented by the cadets of the University of Cebu under the guidance of Mr. Roldan Ardanes. The presenters are Deck Cadet Cabalida Earl Leonard, Deck Cadet Rosala Sebastian, Engine Cadet Punkel Manuel, Deck Cadet Racho Fernando, Deck Cadet Hubabib Jan Jeff, Deck Cadet Cabot Adrienne Paul, Deck Cadet Abakita Wilfredo, and Engine Cadet Delatori Hiroshi.